Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Ārādhyo bhagavan vrajeshatanya stadhama vrindavanam ramya kāchitupāsana vrajavadhu vargena va kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumartho maham. Śrī Caitanya-Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana para. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-pristhaya bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 43, entitled Krishna Kills the Elephant Kuvalya Pida. We have read the killing of Kuvalya Pida and his carriers or caretakers. Then we discuss how the Mathuravasis were so happy to see Krishna Balram, and they were seeing Krishna Balram in different rasas. There are 10 different ways it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam. And then they were glorifying Krishna and Balram in about 15 verses. And the last section, which we are going to study today, is what conversation struck between Chanura and Krishna. So, as all the Mathuravasis were glorifying Krishna and Balram, Chanura intervened, and then he said, while the people talked in this way, the musical instrument resounded, the wrestler Chanura addressed Krishna and Balram with the following words. So we have read till that point. Let's see, what did Chanura say to Krishna Balram. He Nanda suno he Rama bhavantu vira sammato niyuddha kushalau shrutva ragya hutau didrikshuna. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Text 43. Sorry, 32. I was just turning on the purports. Chanura said, O son of Nanda, O Rama, you two are well respected by courageous men and are both skillful at wrestling. Having heard of your prowess, the king has called you here, wanting to see for himself. Chanura is saying this to Krishna, Hey Nanda, Hey Rama, Suno. Nanda Shuno, O son. So the king here refers to? Who's the king here?
Kamsa?
King Kamsa, yes. The king has called using Akrura as the medium. He told Akrura to bring them on. So the king wanted to see Well, we know this plan was to kill. And Chanur and Mushtik are acting as if they didn't know the plan, like they were part of the plan. They were told that your job is to kill. But they're acting like as if they're innocent people. And next, 33. Anyone wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read. Text 33. Priyam Ragyam Prakruvartayah Shreyo Vindanti Vai Praja Manasa Karmana Vacha Viparitamato Anyatha. Translation by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Subjects of the king who try to please him with their thoughts, acts, and words are sure to achieve good fortune. But those who fail to do so will suffer the opposite fate. Hare Krishna. So here it is being said that the praja or the people of the kingdom of that particular king who will try to please the king through their actions, through their deeds or their words or through their thoughts, they will get good fortune, but if they fail to do that, then it's going to have the opposite effect. So please add or correct, Prabhuji. Haribol.
So in short, they are saying that you are also the subjects of the king. You are also part of this. And the king has called you here. The king wants to see you. And king has heard, well, you are very expert in niyuddha, in wrestling. So you see, they're like setting up the scenes. They can't just like attack, right? Because it's a wrestling match. So they're like provoking them to fight. We have, like, imagine if someone, says, oh, I have heard that you are expert in wrestling, right? And the scene is set, the wrestling arena is set, and the wrestlers are there, or someone is expert in whatever field. Oh, I've heard you're expert in yoga. Then they'll naturally feel inspired to show some yoga. Or you are expert in painting, right? And of course, the king has also called you. So basically, they're setting up the scene that you must obey the orders of the king, King Kamsa. Otherwise, you'll have a bad result. Well, it is true. One should obey the orders of the king. But at the same time, the king should also be good. Like the son should obey the orders of the father. The disciple should obey the orders of the guru. Obedience is a great quality. But at the same time, that leader, that king, that father, that guru must also be great so that people naturally feel inspired. They are leading by their example. But in this case, Kamsa was certainly not the good king. Rather, he was totally opposite, and then he will suffer opposite fate very soon. Hare Krishna. Let's read next verse. Anyone wants to read?
I can read Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Text 34. Nityam pramodhita gopa vatsapalayata sputam vaneshu malla yudhena kridantash chara yantigaha. Translation purport by Shukla. It is well known that cowherd boys are always joyful as they tend their cows, and that the boys playfully wrestle with each other while gazing their animals in the various forests. But here Chanura explains how the two brothers came to be expert at wrestling. So here, Chanura wants to say that they are cowherd boys and they do wrestling like a playful way with friends and all. So he wants to mention about how they play during the cow, like grazing the cows and all. So he want to get impression from Kamsa. So he's trying to say these kind of words to impress Kamsa Prabhuji. That's the answer. Thank you. Thank you.
Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. Even Chanura knew what Krishna and Balram used to do. He's addressing there's Nityaṁ pramuditaha, always happy. Vrajavasis are always happy. One who is in association of the Supreme Lord, referring to the Gopas, they're always happy. Why? They're connected to the source of all happiness. Imagine if Krishna is always walking with you, talking with you, wrestling with you, playing flute and eating together and playing together and going to Govardhan and doing playful pranks and aho bhagyam nanda gopa vrajokasa yad mitram paramanandam purna brahma, जिनके मित्र कृष्णा है. What could be better fortune than that? Yan mitram paramanandam. That is the great fortune of the cowherd boys. So they were always joyful. They are Vatsapala, Gopala, Vatsapala. And what were they doing in the Vana? They were doing Malla Yuddha. These days, unfortunately, what do kids play with? Majority.
Gadgets.
Gadgets, video games, Xbox, phones, right? Screens. They don't have, or rarely they have to arrange play dates. Parents have, rarely they go out and do outdoor sports. I'm not generalizing. I'm not talking to any particular kid or parent, but I'm sharing a general phenomena that if the child is playing 10 hours, majority of the time they are playing or indoor games which ruin their health and consciousness also, not just physical health, but mental health also. These games have fighting and inappropriate content and all that stuff. But Prabhupada said wrestling is a Vaishnava sport. Krishna Balram used to wrestle. Wrestling, swimming, cycling, doing some outdoor sport is very healthy. Wrestling, connecting with Mother Earth, right? Wrestling because it happens in Mother Earth. Actually, what to speak of, I recently watched a video someone shared that when you are connected to Mother Earth, your immune system naturally grows. Because these days, so many vaccines, so much, air filters and this and that, and people suddenly they are exposed to some other things which are outside their comfort zone, and they fall sick or we fall sick or because, and you may wonder sometimes some random poor child in the streets of Delhi or Bombay is having nice, like whatever they'll eat, they'll digest it. They won't get, viral infection or this infection or that. Ever wondered why? Because they are connected so closely to Mother Earth. Their system, builds that immunity. In order than a common person, if they would eat or drink something which is less than normal standard, and I'm not promoting by any means, but I'm explaining that we are getting away from our natural elements. So what can we do? We should encourage natural sports as Krishna and Balram used to do. There's a whole book called Kṛṣṇa Krīda, written by devotees. All the kridas Krishna and Balram used to do, and how those can be applied in modern context. So especially if you have kids or group of kids or teaching kids, etc. Nice book for outdoor activities, because especially kids don't like to study Bhagavatam like this, how we are studying. Maybe a little bit is okay, but you can't make them sit for 2 hours study Bhagavatam. No, they want fun, they want some interaction, they want some play, they want activity. So we have to be a kid to teach a kid. And then they learn. We have to come to that level, their level. The teacher may be advanced, but the teacher has to come to the student level to uplift the student. So in short, Malla Yuddha, they were expert. They used to do that every day. And Krishna and Balram, he would love to be defeated by his friends. Talking about Malla Yuddha pastimes. Krishna would be defeated many times by his friends. And when he lifted Govardhan, people were saying, hey, who lifted Govardhan? And the friends are saying, well, we were the ones who were helping him. We were the ones, right? And then we know that Krishna lowered the Govardhan, their sticks and stuff started to fall. But then later they said, no, it was again our Leela. We were the ones. And how do we prove it? You see, I will give one blow to Krishna and he falls down. So I have more power than him because I defeated him. If I defeated him, you are saying he lifted Govardhan. So what easy for me to even, if he can lift, then I can lift 5 Govardhans, right? Because I'm more strong than him. I defeated him in the logically it makes sense, right? Here is transcendental logic going on. The logic of love, the logic of Sakhya Rasa. So Krishna, and this is common in other rasas too. Just imagine a parent sometimes wrestle with a child, right? At least boys do. I don't know about girls, right? Or the teacher is teaching a small, 5-year-old karate, let's say. Is there a match between the teacher and the 5-year-old? There's no match, right? In terms of strength, in terms of skill, the teacher is very much more advanced. But when the small boy kicks the teacher, they're having a fake fight, and the teacher is kicked. The teacher falls down. Oh, look, he defeated me. The boy is very happy. And in that happiness, the teacher also feels happy, right? I'm sure the parents have also felt that. This is the rasa which Krishna experiences. So, talking about Malla Yuddha, outdoor play, etc. Krida, Kridanta, Charayanti, Gaha. So this is what they were doing. They were expert in all these. And Vrindavan, my wife was reading this in the Vrindavan book, the Yatra book. Vrindavan is the land for all play and no work. So those who like to play, we have to become playful in bhakti. No work in the sense everything is playful. Grazing the cows is playful. Spending time with playful. So we should not lose the child within. Sometimes we come in bhakti and become so serious that we forget to laugh. We forget to play. We forget to exchange humor. We should have some friends. We should have someone where we can exchange humor in a healthy way, not to put anyone down, not to humor about, oh, look, she's like this, he's like that. No, not in that, in a healthy way. Krishna Katha is all fun with so many rasas. So we should be playful. We should have Krishna conscious fun. We should have recreation. Yuktahara viharasya. We should never lose the child within. Not become childish, but become childlike. As Honest Radhanath Swami says that. Don't become childish, but be childlike. What's the difference? Who will elaborate? You should be childlike, but not childish. Anyone? Is everyone following? You able to hear me? Am I audible?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you please repeat?
I was saying, did you hear that quote? One should be childlike, but not childish.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I read somewhere by Maharaj. Yeah.
I'm not getting you, sorry.
By Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would someone like to elaborate on that?
Child, childish means we should, our mind should be clear like a child, but we should not act like a child.
Nice. Childlike simplicity,
Yeah.
childlike
Simplicity.
innocence, childlike non-duplicity.
Yes.
Children don't speak lies generally. Nowadays, they get trained fast thanks to the parents and the society. But generally, they're innocent, right?
Yeah.
It's like the father is at home, there's a call, there's a famous joke, right? Someone says, oh, I want to talk to your dad. Is your dad at home? And then the dad goes, oh, your friend Ramesh is calling. He wants to talk to you. The dad says, hey, tell him that I'm not at home, right? Because he doesn't want to talk to Ramesh. And the child says, oh, my dad is saying that he's not at home, right? Children they don't know how to cook up lies. So in short, we should be childlike. If children, they have an agreement. Have you seen children fighting? They fight. But next moment, they'll forget everything and they'll start playing again. Adults, they'll say, oh, 10 years back in my uncle's grandson's marriage, you said this. They take to courts. Adults, they kill each other over minor issues. Are ready to kill each other. They cook false things. So in short, we should be playful. We should be innocent, simple, non-duplicitous. But at the same time, children throw some tantrums, may show some immaturity. That's childish behavior we should avoid. Next verse, 35.
Yes, Prabhuji. I try. Text 35. Tasmad Tasmadragyah priyas ivang vayam cha karvamehe bhutani nah prasidanti sarvabhuta mayo nripaha. Translation by the disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, let us do what the king wants. Everyone will be pleased with us.
for the king embodies all living beings. So here Prabhuji, Chanura Mushtika says those things, means whatever king wants, we should do this to so that king will be pleased and everyone will be pleased with us.
Mm. Yeah. They are expert diplomats setting the scene because the king is wanting them to die and them to fight with these heavy monsters like a 5-year-old and an expert karate teacher. Is there a match? Is there going to be a match between them? Will it be a fair match between a 10-year-old and a world heavyweight wrestler? No, right? People will say, what kind of match is it? But these guys are preparing the scene. Oh, you guys are expert in Malayuddha. Oh, we have heard a lot about you. Oh, you're also part of the kingdom. So you must, everyone will be happy. The king embodies all living beings. Sarva bhuta maya nripaha. So there's also a great lesson that position of leadership is a position of responsibility. There's a famous verse in the Bhagavatam. One should not become a mother, a father, a leader, a devata, a guru, a swajana, if they can not take the responsibility of their dependents. Na mochayete samupeta mrityam, to deliver them from the cycle of birth and death. Pitana sasya, jananya sasya, matana sasya, guruna sasya. No, don't become. That doesn't mean that point is to not take those roles. The point is that these roles involve responsibility. When I was in Govardhan Eco Village just a few months back, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave 3-hour class on leadership to those who were there, about 50 devotees. The first line he said in the class, leadership is an austerity. Like amazing. At least I won't remember one line from the class. Rest all I don't, or at least not so actively. But that just struck, right? The first line struck. Leadership, many people take leadership for enjoyment, for power. Oh, I will have a tag, I'll have a title. People will, people will say, oh, he is so and so, he's the president, he's the vice president, he's the director, he is the DT department head, he's the fundraising head, he's the um, you know, preaching head. In ISKCON also, so many titles are there, so many, they're all good if done in the right mood. But if the mood is to prove I'm better, if the mood is to enjoy, if the mood is to be attached to the position, then to the service, it's going to cause a havoc. And there are many, many stories for good leaders and bad leaders. Bharat Maharaj, the brother of Lord Ram, he never took the position, although he was told by Lord Ram, you take care of the kingdom for 14 years. He took great service, but never the position. That's real leadership. And these days also people talk about servant leadership. Leaders eat last, leaders speak last. There's so many books on this subject. Leadership is no easy thing. And one should not feel oh, I am just an ordinary woman, I'm just an ordinary man. Everyone is leader in some way or the other. Because everyone has the ability to impact at least one person, if not more. And that person is ourselves. There's a book by His Grace Chaitanya Prabhu called The CEO, the Gita for CEO. Someone asked, well, Prabhu, I'm not a CEO. I'm not even a senior engineer or senior, my title. I'm just a junior guy. You're talking about CEO. He said, we're all the CEOs of our life. So beautiful. We have the power to direct our senses, right? We are Maharaj, or we should become Maharaj, not by title or dress or followers, but become the king of the senses, or Goswami, not Godas. Become the leader of the senses, the mind, how to use them, what not to use them in. So the king, talking about the king embodies all living beings. So the leader embodies all living beings. And take it, any example, any community you see, any ISKCON community also you see. I've observed many ISKCON communities. The community will get, mark my words, the community will get the mood of the leader. And you can see anywhere. The community will get the mood of the leader. Like the parents get the mood of the kids get the mood of the parents. Whom we hear will get their mood. Very natural. I'll give examples like His Grace Vishishika Prabhu. Look at the amazing community. I'm sure I'm sharing all the good examples only because that's my job. You know, you've heard of all ISKCON of Silicon Valley, ISV, right? The size of the temple is, I would say, medium. It's nowhere a large temple. When I say a large temple, like Alachua is decent size, Baltimore, New Vrindavan, even Toronto, these are larger temples. But if you have been to Silicon Valley, ISKCON Silicon Valley, it's a smaller congregation. If you've been to Houston, it's a large temple. Houston is a very nice temple, nice, large, beautiful building. But the amount of books ISKCON Silicon Valley distributes is more than the amount of books all the temples put together distribute. Can you imagine? All the temples, all the community, all the small centers, all anywhere other in North America, I'm talking about North America only, how leadership. Every community has a mood. If the mood is primarily focused around deity worship, festivals, then the community will get that. If the mood is focused around Shastra study, studying scriptures, you'll get that. So we have to see what is our mood and what is the mood we want to pass on to our people, whether it be our children, whether it be people who look up to us in any way. There's always, everyone is leader in some way or the other. And it's a great role of responsibility also, because leaders get the karma also. Leaders, like Guru gets the karma, right? The Guru takes the karma for the disciple. The king gets 1/6 of the karma of the praja. So if anything happens to someone in the kingdom, the king is in some way responsible, right? Prabhupada said, when someone asked, some temple president asked Prabhupada, what is the job description of a temple president? Prabhupada said, if anything goes wrong, you are to be blamed. That's a job description. So in short, you have to ensure that everything goes through smoothly, which is no easy thing. Imagine in a home, is it easy thing to manage like 3-4 people? The temple president of the community may have 50 people, or sometimes 500 people, sometimes 5,000 people. Imagine a home with 5,000 people, or a home with 50 people, 50 different egos, 50 different priorities, 50 different issues. It's no easy thing. But that's what leadership is, not for enjoyment. It means to sacrifice oneself for the joy of others, right? Therefore, the sannyasis, the brahmacharis, what do the color they wear? The saffron color, which represents sacrifice. That means they're giving up their life to give joy to others. They could also have husbands, wives, wives, uh, bank balance, prestigious jobs, big cars and mansions. Could they not? Right? It's not that they were the lowest, from the lowest status of the society and they had nothing else to do, so therefore they just joined the ashram. That may be true for a small portion, but there are many we know they were like from very high class, intelligent, elite people. But they gave their life to give joy to others. Why? Why? For money? For prestige? For honor? No, if those are the motivations, it won't last. If the motivation is service, to give joy to Guru and Krishna, it will be a wonderful thing. That's something about leadership, and the king embodies all living beings. I just felt inspired to share something. Next verse. Anyone?
Prabhuji, if no one is available, I can do it. Again, it's okay.
Radhika Mataji, did you read? Okay, Radha Mataji, you read, and then Radhika Mataji can read next verse.
Okay, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Verse 36. तन्निशम्य ब्रवीत् कृष्णो देशकालोचितं वचः नियुद्धम् आत्मनो भीष्टं मन्यमानो भिनन्ध्य च. Translation. Hearing this, Lord Krishna, who liked to wrestle and welcomed the challenge, replied with words appropriate to the time and place. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. You can learn a beautiful lesson here. Deshakala uchitam vachaha. Krishna is teaching that we should speak words which are appropriate as per time, place, and circumstances. Deshakala paristhit. Sometimes good words spoken at the bad time could have a bad impact. Bad words spoken at a good time could have a bad impact, right? We know from the famous verse in Bhagavad Gita 17:15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. So learning the art of speaking, the culture of speaking, words have a lot of power. We can learn this from Krishna, from Lord Rama, from great devotees like Hanuman, like Prithu, like so many others. They were expert. And this needs a lot of training. This won't come by default. Because sometimes we may not even know what words are we speaking and how it is impacting others. Oh, my intent was not to harm you. Oh, just if I forgive, if I cause harm, please forgive me. But am I learning this? Am I learning what is the appropriate way to speak? Everyone goes to school, college to study different things, but the art of speaking needs also learning to be sensitive in our dealings. And sensitivity in dealings means sensitivity in speech. There are so many lectures by so many senior Vaishnavas about this topic, the culture of speech, as well as Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj's 5 series session, the culture of speech. So many, the austerity of speech, the art of speaking, art of communication. ISKCON as a whole, His Grace Anuttama Prabhu about communication. One devotee just recently shared, how speech is so important, so powerful. Charuchitram padam shlakšnam mrishtam gudam aviklavam sarvesham upakar artha tatha anuvadan eva. Prithu Maharaj used to speak like that. Charu, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Charu means, who can tell? It's sweet, beautiful, right? Charu, Chitram. Chitram means Chitra, picture.
Picture. Yeah, picture.
Yeah, like picturesque, right? The words should be so beautiful that it's like say, oh, your face is photogenic. Oh, this looks like a perfect scene from a picture, right? So the words should be beautiful, pleasing. Charu chitram padam, shlakshnam, clear, mrishtam, meeting. Aviklavam. Aviklavam means non-equivocal. Equivocal, you understand? Is like unclear, basically double meaning. Like Mataji, you invited me for a program. I am, thank you for inviting, and I'll try. I may come most likely, but my wife, I'm not sure if I'll come. So maybe I'll tell you later that I'll come or not. So you are in a dilemma, and I am also in dilemma that I'll come or not. And I never reached back out later also, which I told I'll tell you later, maybe by tomorrow. I forgot. Tomorrow also went, and I forgot that I had told you that I'll tell you tomorrow about that thing. That's called like a viklom, like either saying this, will he come or will not come? He is confused, the person is confused.
Fickle-minded, Prabhuji.
Fickle-minded would lead to this unequivocal voice. Or equivocal, right? Dual, split. Chanchala, yes. And everyone is chanchal, but therefore we have to practice all these things. Practice. There is a lot of emphasis on this is Vaishnava culture. Sensitivity in speech. ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए औरों को शीतल करे आपू ही शीतल हो. And there are many, many examples. This is one of my favorite topics to discuss, and I get carried away. I have many, many presentations also in this topic because I need it the most. This is my favorite, that's why. Because I need it the most to talk about the culture of speech for myself, so I can be reminded of those things. So he replied as per time, place, and situation. Something called emotional intelligence, understanding the room, understanding that this is an important topic, but this is not the right time to be discussing it. Yes, this person may need some feedback, but this is not the right time to be discussing. Now, what's the right time, when to speak, how to speak, what not to speak? That's a whole big topic, and we can spend hours on that. But Krishna, we can learn from this. And when in doubt, when you're not sure, it's always better to not speak. Is this the right thing to do? When you're not sure, it's always good to check. It's always good to pause. Because words once spoken, in WhatsApp message you can edit, right? You can delete also, delete for everyone, right? If they have not yet seen. But words, once taken out, once gone in there, you cannot edit those. You cannot delete for everyone, right? So we should be careful. Next verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you mentioned one shloka, right? Charu something. Charu Chitram. Where is that verse, Prabhu? From which?
Bhagavatam. Charu chitram padam slaksham. Let's see. Yes, Charu chitram padam. It's in the 4th canto.
Okay.
Mrishtam gudam aviklavam sarvesham upakarartham tatha anuvadan iva. Let's see if I can search for you real quick. Everyone knows how to search it, right? Charge X. Therefore, sometimes I like this ChatGPT, which makes things easy for, especially I'll use the ChatGPT which I have built or modified. This is an ISKCON ChatGPT. How many of you use these things?
I use Prabhuji lot.
Okay, give me the verse about Prithu Maharaj, which talks about the qualities of speech. Charu Chitram Padam Shlaksham Mishtam Gudam Aviklavam. About Prithu Maharaj's qualities of speech from Bhagavatam. So you can just dictate, it'll understand, and hopefully it will give. Let's see. Searching. See? It worked. Very well, and I knew it.
Very bold, ChatGPT and you, Prabhuji.
So now I can see here for 124. Oh no, that was not the verse 420. But this verse is correct. Maybe the number it gets messed up. Beautifully composed words, polished, refined, mishtam, sweet, gudam, deep, aviklam, clear without confusion. Sarvesham upakarartha, meant for the welfare of everyone. See, so nice. Nripan Hridan. I think this here, King Prithu's. Yeah, this is the verse. I think you got it. You can find in the 4th canto.
Okay,
And
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
if you want, I have the whole presentation about culture of speech. Like 2 or 3 presentations I have. It's there in that. You want to see that? About Lord Ramsal's qualities of speech also mentioned there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any questions so far while I'm opening that?
Prabhuji, I just want to understand here. So here Chanura Mushtika already know that Krishna is powerful and he just want to mention that let's do wrestling, or is the other way to impress Kamsa? He's asking Krishna and he's mentioning about you are a cowherd boy and all the things. It's a which way that we need to understand here, Prabhuji?
The first way you said Chanura Mushtika, they already know. Yes, they were told before even Kamsa went. Before even Akrura went, this evil Kamsa had arranged this master plan that, oh, put Kavalya Pida, place him in this location when they come, right? And if by any means, if they are still left, then they'll have a match with Chanura and Mushtika. So yes, it was known to them, and now they cannot just attack him like Kavalya Pida attacked. So they are using intelligent words, and they are glorifying their king, Kamsa, who had arranged this evil plan. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So this is the presentation. This is a long presentation. Arjuna asks in the Gita, what are the qualities? How does a Sthita Pragya speak? The most important is how a man in Krishna consciousness speaks, for the speech is most important quality of any man. It is said that the fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak, and certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. So nice, right? The immediate symptom of Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms will naturally follow. This verse we were just talking about, very important verse. Satyam Priyam Hita. Truthful, pleasing, beneficial. But beneficial is most important. Now this, as I said, this is a very long presentation. Right intentions, right motivations, right timing, right relationships, right words, and right emotions will have the right impact. And that too also, I have learned hard way that be very careful in giving feedback. People will say, oh, you are our guru, you are this, you can say anything to me. One feedback which they don't like, oh my God, they will cancel upon you. They will go, it goes in unhealthy ways, leads to wrong things. So be very careful in giving anyone feedback, because conditioned soul, everyone wants to hear good about them. No one wants to hear feedback. If we genuinely want to hear feedback, we should reach out. We should beg to our Guru, please give us feedback. But who begs to their Guru? Give me constructive feedback. Everyone wants to hear, either directly or indirectly, their glories only. Oh, you're doing great. Oh, keep doing. Very bol. All glories to you. Wonderful service. Nectar of Instruction talks about speech. The first verse, the first letter, you think about it, Rupa Goswami. Is that a coincidence? First verse, first letters begins with, control of speech. Jiva, speech, Vacho Vegam, the scourge. It's a purport there. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, by whom no one is put into difficulty and he is not disturbed by anyone, he is equipoised in happiness and distress, is very dear to me. So in short, Yasma no duchate lok, we should not speak in a way which will disturb others. But if others speak, that's fine, we cannot control that. Speech in the mode of goodness, with humility, without expectation of material benefit. with faith in the scriptures, done with intention to benefit, reflects clarity, understanding, mindful of past, see, time, place, situation, according to dharma. When in doubt, reach out, consult. Refined, not coarse, not harsh. This is in the mode of passion, intense emotion. Dekh lunga, yeah, you are like this, always shouting. My nature is like that. I shout, I get angry fast, Prabhu. This is my nature. Then work on your nature, my dear Prabhu. We are meant for self-improvement, seeking favors, and spirit in the mode of ignorance, not mindful of past. So Krishna was speaking in the Shuddha Sattva, but here ignorance, not mindful of past, present, future. Coarse leads to distress, agitating, anger, hatred, arrogance, jealousy, to hurt others. You were asking that verse 4:21:20, so it was not 20. And ChatGPT messes up, hallucinates, that's a word. So it may not be 100% correct, but it gave pretty close. It was 4:21:20. Prithu Maharaj speaking to his citizens. His speech was beneficial, full of metaphorical language, picturesque, clearly understandable, very pleasing to hear. Tada anuvadan. Sarvesham. This is very important, you see. Sarvesham upakarartham. Mataji is asking for this document. Hare Krishna. Only if you pray for me so that I can develop what is written in this document. You sincerely pray and bless, then I'll share.
Sure, Prabhuji. I always. I was attracted to the other one, the mode of goodness, that particular one.
Sure. I have recorded classes also, Hindi maybe, English maybe, because I have spoken this topic at least 5 times. So
I listened to the
yeah,
record.
but nonetheless, I can share. Pehle tolo, fir bolo. The 3 filter test. Is it truthful? Is it pleasing? Is it beneficial? And I'm hurrying. If you want, maybe next time in Tampa, we can cover this topic in great detail. Oh, I thought I had more things here. Where did my notes go? I had written more things, I remember. Oh, yes. Yes. Here, about Lord Rama. Yes. This is from Valmiki Ramayana. Mridu Purvam Cha Bhashate. Mridu Bhashi was soft spoken, not shouting. Everyone is shouting these days. Harsh words. Insensitive. Uccha manam api purusham na uttaram prati padyate. Even if the opposite person is speaking harsh word, Lord Ram would remain calm and composed and not speak with harsh or loud words. His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj was saying in a lecture, don't argue with a unreasonable person or a foolish person or an insensitive person or any other, no. They are going to pull you down to their level and then they will defeat you with their experience. So don't argue with them. Don't get to their level because they're going to defeat you because they have more experience there. Purvabhashi starts the talk first. Now, it doesn't mean that they're the ones to speak first. It means understanding when to speak first, when to speak last. When to speak first is, sometimes if there's a new, people are like unknown, Generally, who introduces themselves first is junior. In the common world, it is considered, oh, मैं क्यों पहले बात करूं? मैं क्यों पहले हरि बोल करूं? Right? Why I should go first? Right? वो भी तो कर सकते हैं. They also have a mouth. Right? मैं क्यों माफी मांगू? गलती तो उसने भी करी. चलो दोनों ने करी है तो मैं क्यों पहले झुकूं? जो झुकते हैं, right? फलदार वृक्ष और गुणवान मनुष्य झुक जाते हैं. So we should not feel कि अरे उसने मुझे हरि बोला, उसने मुझे प्रणाम नहीं किया, मैं क्यों करूं? Right? I'm senior devotee. वो तो नहीं है. We should always, but we should also be sensitive, like especially in this leadership program which I was doing, the leaders should give chance to others also to speak. The famous story again, Lord Ram, when Vibhishana was coming, he was asking everyone's opinion. What do you think we should do with Vibhishana? What do you think? What do you think, Jamban, Sugriva, Hanuman, everyone? And then Lord Ram also, if you agree, I can also share 2 cents. Imagine the leader says the first thing, I feel we should do things this way. And, he gives a big thing and he says, but I'm curious to hear what all you say. Guess what everyone is going to say? It's like, Baba, you are the leader. If we say something which you don't like, then, it's like, especially in a company. Hey, you pay the bills, right? You pay the salary. I'm not going to go against you. If you like this agenda, if you like this proposal, I am going to like it. Right? At least majority will go that path, especially the silent ones, right? It's an interesting joke also in this connection. एक बार राजा पूछता है अपने मंत्री से, फेवरेट सब्जी कौन सी है आपकी? ये बैंगन की सब्जी कैसी है? बैंगन बैंगन में तो इस इतने गुणवान है, इतनी हेल्दी है, इतनी बढ़िया है, राइट? इसका तो मैं गुणगान करते करते नहीं थकता. So amazing. King says, बैंगन is, I don't like it really. I love petha sabji, pumpkin. Yes, I was about to say that. The minister said, Bangan is third class, pumpkin is first class, right? And then the king said, pumpkin also is, I like this. I like ladyfinger or okra, bindi. Yes, bindi. Look at the texture. Look at the shape. Look, you can use it for painting also. So amazing. And the king said, well, what kind of person are you? Are you like bangan, bindi, or pumpkin? He said, King, neither bindi nor pumpkin nor bangan, pays my bills. So you help me to give my salary. If you like, I like what you like. So we should not be like that either. But there's a place for everything. There's a time, place, situation, and that needs a lot of sensitivity and maturity. Lord Ram gives his introduction to Shurpanakha as a simple, sober person. This is Purva Bhashi. Can you imagine? Mathura Bhashi, Madhura, Priyam, soft spoken. Lord Hanuman also had this great quality of speech. And we spoke when to speak first, when to speak at the end. Right? This is also important thing. I really thought I had some more notes here. Taking subtle revenge. If one is a little sober, then he may not directly harm, but would be pleased when something wrong happens to his apparent enemy. You see? Is it making sense? Pleased when some other person develops fight with him. For example, A said harsh things to you. You may not revenge at the moment, but if that person, breaks their leg and gets a fracture, you say, look, See, Bhagavan bhi dekhte hain usko. Right? God is punishing you because you said wrong things to a great soul like me. Right? This subtle revenge. We are not feeling that pain, rather we're feeling. So we have this subtle, or maybe that A develops fight with B and B like punches A. You see, he got his reaction. Lord Ram didn't have slightest propensity to take revenge. Always wanted everyone's Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. This is our mantra. Sarve Santu Niramayah. So a lot is there and these are just, if you want to hear classes from Great Soul directly, these are the classes you can hear. This 4 CD session. And there are many other wonderful devotees have spoken on this topic. But we hear, going back to the words, Krishna spoke as per time, place, and situation. Bhagavatam, NOI, Gita, and all are teaching us to become refined in our speech. Very, very important. Words, right? Words and this S ko ya liao. Kya bana? Sword. Words can cause deeper wounds than sword. So we should be very careful. Okay. Any thoughts, closing comments, corrections? Please forgive me if I said anything inappropriate through my words. But all of you are very sincere devotees like my mothers. Please pray for me and bless me so I can develop some of these qualities mentioned here.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation regarding the speech. It's very important for us in not only in the spiritually but also in the materially also. You should not hurt anyone, either they are the devotee or not.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that's amazing. Like, the analyzing of, converting it to easy language that someone can understand. That philosophy is amazing. It's amazing. I was like, I never thought about all these things. Some of these qualities I need to fix in myself too. And as I go through this bhakti process, I can also see people's personality so transparently. I can analyze a little bit. That's why it connected so well to this slide you showed me. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I really like the examples, and when you shared the Hindi dohas there, that I really enjoyed those. Thank you so much.
The ऐसी वाणी बोलिए.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I'm just repeating like a parrot. Lastly, if you have not seen this article, which I wrote a few months back, please have a look. You may find it interesting. It's based on the Bhagavad Gita 17:15, and have a look and let me know what you think on this topic. I'll send the link. Okay, so let's pray that we all speak in such a way that brings glory to Prabhupada and connects us to Krishna and connects us to each other. ग्रंथराज भागवतम पुराण की जय, जगद्गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.